Well, this is not the video that I expected to be making today, and it's just kind of shocked me a bit, and that's why I wanted to cover it today. And pretty much it's all to do with the, Aquatica stuff that's happened recently, Snail Games, Studio Sirens, all of that kind of stuff, and we covered it yesterday, and there's been a bit of backlash, which from the actual team, or the community manager, and I just thought I'd make this just because it would be nice to have some sort of answers to this or something, I don't know, but my good friend GP put this post out, which brought my attention to it, because after I made yesterday's video, I was like, that's it, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. It's sad to see what's going on over there, but we're going to move on. And then this was posted, and I just thought, this was just a bit far, really. Anyways, so if you guys enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe, and let's get in with it. So, yeah, so GP goes on to say, disgusting. Swell, who is someone I've spoken to in the community manager, has been great, and someone I've really liked from Studio Sirens. So GP says Swell has been more of a face for ASE Aquatica with his constant engagement and friendly streams, because he's really been trying to get it out there. He's kind of like done some threads and explained what passion and love the team have sort of gone into to make this DLC, and I love that. I really, really love that. I found that so great to see someone actually go in depth to what their situation has been, and I think you need that, right? Because the community needs to see that. And then GP says there's more of these posts from this so-called community manager, and they say, yes, there are art creators that do nothing but crap about it, but the average ARK YouTuber, GP says, I'm not denying there are plenty of art creators that do, YouTube won't allow me to say the word, about the game, and then go back to playing it and enjoying it, but claiming the average ARK YouTuber has a channel full of slander is an awful claim. And there's more that we'll cover afterwards about it, but it was a really, really serious claim. And by the way, I have had a moan, especially, since we moved over from ARK Survival Evolved onto ARK Survival Ascended, I have moaned about a lot of things. And to be honest, I think we've deserved to be able to do that, because we had such an amazing time on ARK Survival Evolved, which wasn't always perfect, but it was what we what we knew and loved. And we were moved over to Ascended, which was a game that at the time of launch everyone was really excited about, and then we didn't get a new map for 6 months and we paid full price for it. Now Ascended has actually gone on to be a really, really good game, and we were sold it, and we all moved away from Evolved. Evolved did not need to be touched, and then Aquatica came into things and broke everything. So let's get into the next part. So, someone said, everyone likes this DLC so much that it has a Steam rating of 13%, and the entire YouTube is littered with videos about refunds. And the community manager went on to say, the average ARK YouTuber has a channel full of slander, so that's not surprising. They then go right back to making positive content, and they're fun in game. Heck, some channels only make content about ARK. Let me respond about this. So then this person goes on to say, I do understand that you're on salary, but it was better to ignore my question than to write this. Now, no one owes anything to YouTubers. YouTubers are people that do things off their own back, and actually a lot of the time help the game out quite a lot. A game can go and pay, massive amounts of money to TV and cinema or whatever, but YouTube has been one of, this generation's biggest source of getting it out there to someone, because there's YouTubers either decide to do things for free, or sometimes they do ask to be paid for things, but they're always, if something's good, the good thing with YouTube is they won't just, YouTubers is most of the time, they won't just, some YouTubers might get paid and just say something's amazing, but most YouTubers won't, they love their subscribers. If someone offers to pay me for something, I'm only going to do it if I think it's good for the game. So this community manager says the average ARK YouTuber has a channel full of slander. Now, I'm a news channel, Ras Clark is a news channel, Syntax sometimes does news channels, but he does a lot of gameplay. Recently, I've been doing a bit more gameplay as well. Ras Clark's does a lot of gameplay too. But I would say the two, and GP is a news guy as well. And the only times we need to post kind of videos which might have slander or something is when something's gone wrong and it's not right. We would rather make positive content on good stuff, because negativity does not do you any favors. So I just thought that was one of the most awful things that you could say for so many YouTubers for the last 10 years, dedicating so much time. I don't even think you probably play ARK, and who even knows? I mean, that was just crazy. And you know, if it was towards me, just use my name. I'm more than happy for you to, if that's what you want to say about me. But you know, I just thought it was crazy, to be honest. Anyway, and then next up, I think was this one next up? Oh no, yeah. So that was after I understand that you're on salary, but it's better to ignore my question than write this. So they say, I am your guys' community manager. I am the sole face to represent this product as right of us now. Usually there would be more, but that is not the case. This revert was done to address an issue introduced by a patch they accidentally rolled out, which they were preparing to do a patch, and they accidentally put something in the patch that broke the game. By reverting the update, the developers can go back and look at the issue and repackage a new update next week. Also gives us the chance to release a bigger update if more fixes do come than what was originally listed, because not all solutions caused the issue worth rolling back, but the package was rolled back as a fast solution. Now, so I am your guys' community manager. Brilliant. You need community managers. Like, in the gaming industry right now is in a really tough place, because a lot of people were wanting jobs in the gaming industry. A lot of people have been laid off in the gaming industry. I have been part of the gaming industry, and that's where I came from. And I understand what the gaming industry is like at this moment in time. But this kind of messaging is crazy. Like, absolutely crazy, especially if you want the best for the game. I don't care if you don't want to work with me anymore, but if there are some other ARK YouTubers out there that might want to help you, if all of a sudden, you know, you do some great things for ARK Aquatica, right, and it looks brilliant and it looks great, they've really worked hard to get out there, and then this is the kind of message you're sending to some other YouTubers out there, that the average ARK YouTuber, it's just not going to get you anywhere. I mean, I just think that is insane, but maybe I'm thinking it's more over the top than it is. But anyway, this is what GP said. So GP said, I'm not denying there are plenty of, we read this earlier, but claiming the average ARK YouTuber has a channel full of slander is an awful claim. Seriously though, the average ARK YouTuber is very supportive of ARK. And yes, they criticize issues and decisions, but full of slander. And yeah, that is literally it. I used to get called back in the day on Evolved. I used to have people complain to me that I didn't complain enough about the game. And then when Ascended, I wasn't happy with Ascended. So yeah, my channel more recently has been complaining about issues, and it might annoy developers because I'm putting that out there and they don't want to see that. But unfortunately, it's the way of life. Like, if I'm not happy about something, or my team aren't happy about something, or my community aren't happy about something, and that's gone wrong, then I believe that I have the right to be able to talk about that. I'm not just going to hide behind the channel and be like, oh, great, guys, you guys are doing a great job. Like, I don't think that's fair. I wouldn't want to make a channel a YouTube channel that is just full of lies, you know, like, but anyway, so, and I feel so bad for so many of us, because so me, GP, I know GP started his channel a little bit later on, but he's been in the community for a long time. Ross didn't start right from the beginning, but he's been in the community, I know, like, for such a long time as well, so he knows about ARK, and his channel has been around for a long time now anyway. And Syntax is the same right from the beginning, and there's been so many that have just dedicated their time to this game. There's been others that have gone away and moved to other games, and they've just gone on and enjoyed that because they didn't like what was going on. That's fair enough. But there's some of us here that generally love the game. We just, get so addicted to everything involving ARK. But when there's an issue and people need an outcry, and I personally believe it needs to be talked about, I think I have the right to be able to talk about it. Because, yeah. Anyway, so that was my opinion on that situation there. So next up, yeah, so this was the response from Syntax. So Syntax said, Aquatica has a CM or community manager. Where have they been hiding this whole time? Not a very good CM if they think going after the YouTubers to justify their unliked DLC that fundamentally broke ASE is a good idea. Aaron Aztec as well, another great ARK YouTuber. Complaining about ARK YouTubers is a rich claim. Sure, we have our gripes, but talking about us from an employee and generalizing all of us is stupidly unprofessional. And that's where it gets wrong. It's the generalization of every YouTuber. Like, if it was me that they were unhappy with, they should say me. Or if it was GP they were unhappy with, or Syntax they were unhappy with, because Syntax did his stream which got like nearly 400,000-500,000 views, which was I play ARK Aquatica so you don't have to, like, and it was because he wanted to show if it was good or not, and it just kept breaking. So clearly when you're selling something to a customer, you have to remember, when you're selling things to people online, they're actual human beings. They're not just robots that are just going to give you free money. It has to be something that's good. And if it's not good, then the people shouldn't be scammed. I'm not saying it's a scam, by the way, but they shouldn't be sold it like just because you think it's good. But anyway, so I'm gonna back up this point from Nano here. So Nano does a lot of lore in the community and said, to completely honest, having seen how the community manager has acted before this point, that to say relatively friendly to all, I'm just going to assume the Discord toxicity has gotten to them to this point where they're completely fed up with everyone else's. And also, I want to say, they probably won't watch my video. If the community manager watches this, I hope they get to this point, because I agree. The ARK Discord, or the ARK toxicness, it's huge, especially when it comes to PvP. The toxic side has been one of the biggest things and the hardest things to deal with, if you're whether you're a YouTuber or you work for Wildcard, whatever. And maybe they didn't realize, the Studio Sirens team, what they were letting themselves into. If you have happy ARK players, you've got the best community in the world. If you break something, because ARK players are being through a lot, it's gonna be a bad time. That's not always deserved, but unfortunately that's how the community has been built on over the last 10 years. But I do agree with the community manager. If you're watching this, I do agree. I can understand your frustration. Jim Bob goes on to say, average ARK YouTuber here, apparently giving honest feedback equals slander. Who knew? Maybe the problem isn't us, but the choices being made about the game, ? But anyway, so again, another one here just saying that almost zero ARK YouTubers who dislike Aquatica made content on it. The only content that was made on it was I was gonna make a video on it, right? I was given early access. I asked you guys, should I try it out? You guys said like that you wouldn't be happy if I did it. I just, and Syntax did his video, I tried ARK Aquatica, and that's kind of the idea I was going to go for. And I even said I kind of enjoyed this like beta version I was given. I really did. I found it fun. I gave a shout out to Zed Swell. I said to him, I was like, we were DMing each other. I said, wow, this is actually blown my mind. You guys have done a good job here. But this was before the update had actually been released on ASE, so you would have thought that they had prepared it to and known that it was going to break the game. But obviously all the mods weren't updated, which I'm surprised they didn't know that from the beginning. Even if they're new devs, why didn't Snail know that? That again just shows how out of touch the situation is. But anyway, And then finally, this was the post from the team, and basically Matt Cole, I'm hoping I pronounced that right, is the head of Studio Sirens, which, by the way, was actually Snail Games, because I know Matt's part of Snail because he was on Studio Sirens is now new. So I was tricked. I feel like I was tricked into believing Studio Sirens was a brand new studio that Snail Games had hired. But no, it was just Snail Games and a bunch of developers within Snail Games working under Studio Sirens. So again, more toxic, like, stuff. Like, and again, I felt disappointed with that because I really thought I found an understanding with some of the developers. But no, at the end of the day, we're human beings. Again, I have to say this. We're not just gonna, like, you know, we want the best for this game, but we don't want to be lied to. And that is what so many people are frustrated with this situation. We all know that this is what they said. So they said Studio Sirens remains fully committed to ARK Aquatica and to delivering the experience our passionate community have hoped for. Our team is dedicated to ensuring the content is stable and enjoyable for our fans of the franchise. We appreciate the support and patience from the ARK Survival Evolved players and ARK Aquatica players throughout the process. Your direct feedback has been guiding Studio Sirens in efforts and improvements to the game. Looking forward, we'll be continuing to roll out planned fixes and optimizations to refine ARK Aquatica in the months ahead, including our upcoming dev kit. Hosted servers and player support will remain active for the rest of 2025, as stated previously. Thank you for being a part of ARK's 10-year journey and helping us make the game the best it can be. Now, Matt. Let's talk, Matt, because I hope you're watching this video. I think it was Matt that was sitting up on stage at IGN Live. I thought you did a great job. Congratulations, by the way. I thought that was a good interview, and I think you handled yourself well in front of the camera. So I have to say big congratulations to you there. Now, we were sold ARK Survival Ascended as the new version of the game. You're now saying you want to help us make the best the old version can be. It makes no sense. I'd like you to list me any game in the world that has released a new version of the game and gone back to the old version while the new version is still trying to progress. It damages the future of the new game. I said this from the beginning. It's not needed. Aquatica was not needed. The idea of Aquatica was great. And if you really... And maybe Wildcard didn't want to work with Studio Sirens. But you guys had some fantastic ideas. And you really did. You had some fantastic ideas. Great taming methods. Great fun. And I think it could have been good in Ascended. But maybe you can answer the question. Studio Wildcard, they didn't want it. Maybe that's what happened. Was that the case? That's maybe... You need to be transparent. I know we'll never get that answer. But this isn't the way to do it. We should leave ARK Survival Evolved players to the way it was before. But if you can work on this to get it to a point where ARK Aquatica is on the game and we're not having issues like that before, then that's brilliant. And I'm glad to hear that you've got an upcoming dev kit. But that's not going to mean every modder is going to come back and fix their mod. So anyway, that's my little talk on the situation. I just needed to let a little bit of steam off because I just thought whoever that community manager is just seriously unprofessional. And I've never seen it in my years of being in the gaming industry. And I'm not talking about just being a YouTuber, by the way. I worked in the actual gaming industry as well. Also the comment of if they sent a comment before the community manager saying it looks like you have never been a game developer before in your life to someone else, and if you want to say that to me, yes, I wasn't in game development, but there's just enough of this shouting at people. Let's try and deal with it in a more of a friendlier way and a bit more of a professional way, and trying to get YouTubers more on your side. Because at the end of the day, we want to support what's best for this franchise. And right now, that's just embarrassing. Anyway, that's my opinion on things. So, I'll catch you guys in my next video. I'll see you guys later.